Hello and good evening. Matt Jones here, taking part in what will be my fifth but also final video clip themed around my London Marathon experience. I'd like to begin by making an apology, in fact make that two apologies. The first is for the lateness of this video clip, as we are nearly 2 weeks on after the London Marathon. And secondly, I'd like to apologise, as I'm quoted as saying in my final email before I officially ran the London Marathon, that I would take part in an interview within seconds of crossing the finishing line. However, did not have an iPad to hand, and therefore the facility to capture such an interview was not available, for which I do apologise. It would have been hilarious for you, as I wasn't very compass mentis at the time and therefore wouldn't have spoke a lot of sense, although I'm sure a lot of people say I don't speak a lot of sense anyway, but that's a matter of opinion. But nevertheless, it wasn't possible, therefore I do apologise. A promise is a promise, however I cannot recreate the finish line here, now. But I did think long and hard about how I could make it up to you. And the best I could come up with was to bring you back to where it all started. Therefore, welcome once again to the office, where I shot that first video clip back in January, what seems like many moons ago. So unfortunately, no frills, and on this occasion, no miming Chesney Hawks or any other 1980s pop act, and I've got plenty more in my collection, as many of my friends will vouch for, and certainly my wife. There's no ice baths in this video clip, and also no charity football chip challenges. I think I've just about dried out from all the water that was chucked over me that day, but all for a good cause. Why none of that stuff? Well, call me sentimental, but I have to admit to being blown away by the entire London Marathon experience for various reasons, and therefore I figured a more reflective one-on-one self-interview with yours truly would be more fitting to the occasion. For those that are not aware, although my good lady did a fantastic job of keeping people up to date on the day itself, whilst I was running, and indeed shortly after, as to my progress, I am delighted to say that I completed 26.2 miles and within my target time of under 4 hours. In fact, I officially completed it in 3 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. My other challenge was to complete the marathon and run from start to finish, not walking and certainly taking no breaks. And again, I'm delighted to say I achieved that, even though I suffered for it the day after that, and the day after that. In fact, 4 days. It wasn't until the Thursday I could officially feel my legs again. In fact, for those 4 days I was walking like I can only imagine a nice lolly would walk, if indeed a nice lolly could walk. If I had to sum up the marathon experience in 3 words, the first would probably be challenging. It was every bit as challenging as I hoped it would be. I expected it to be hard, and it was, physically and psychologically, but I would have been disappointed if it hadn't been. And that's what made crossing the finish line and achieving my goals that more rewarding. It felt euphoric. The second word I would use is awe-inspiring. I cannot do the atmosphere justice. It was nothing short of spectacular, and the crowd certainly helped me through each mile and cross the finish line. And finally, I would say the marathon experience was emotional. I have no shame in admitting I had a frog in my throat at the finish line. I know I'm not the first person to run a marathon, and I won't be the last, but having raised a staggering £2,000, which is down to many of you pledging your hard-earned cash, I thought the very least I could do was allow you guys to share in my experience through making these video clips. So I hope you've enjoyed them. It's certainly been fun making them, I won't lie. I'll finish by saying, on behalf of Amend, thank you for your donations. Each and every one is gratefully received, and I know they'll be put to good use as a small charity that is forever growing. For those watching who have been meaning to sponsor me but not got round to it, which is completely understandable because I know life gets in the way, my Virgin Money giving page will remain open for another couple of weeks. So if you would like to make a last minute donation, any pounds or pence will be gratefully received. All that's left to say from me, Matt Jones, is thank you once again. I'm officially signing off, and I'll leave you with a quote from Vinnie Jones, no relation, and that is, "It has been emotional." Thank you.